Welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about the multiplayer combat editor. In this video we are going to create a weapon skill. But in order to do that we're going to implement the input logic to move, because we cannot try out weapon skills in our maps, in our tutorial map, because we don't have a weapon system. So we are implementing it. We are going to customize, to create a skill and give it to one of the weapons we have in the example map. But for that we need to be able to move, and I think that's quite easy. We're just going to open up the first person player. How did I call it? FPS player. Let's open him up. Let's compile is going to tell us we need to implement input axis keyboard move right and move forward. So we're going to do that real quick. Project settings, input, axis mapping. We're going to add two new axis mapping. Keyboard move forward. I think that's how I call them. We're going to add to inputs keyboard move forward. I think there are no underscore there. We're going to create another one, keyboard move right, and we're going to add new keys to that. Mine is going to be Z, but yours is W if you have an English keyboard. And same for move right. I added a new input. We're going to move right with Q. You are moving right with A, I believe, and we are moving left with Q, I mean, and right with D. So move forward, Z is scale 1, S is scale -1, Q is scale -1. Like this. We're going to save, head back to our FPS player and control. It's going refresh all nodes, I mean, compile. Now we are fine. I think we can move with our character. Shift to run. And you can grab the rifle and shot with it. I'm going to reduce the sound of Unreal like this. And we're going to create a skill for our rifle. So how do we create a weapon skill? So that's basically how you create any skill. So we're going to add to our example folder, go to skills, prefab, weapon, and in here we are going to right click, create a new blueprint class, and type in semi-automatic fire, for instance. We are looking for BP automatic fire, and this is going to be my weapon skill. And in there we are going to say that we want to set stat list, to create stat list. This is the event we always call with all of our skill. And we want to set weapon skill metrics. And I think we also want to set some other metrics, which are set active skill metrics, I think. I'm just going to double check that by going into the graviton beam, for instance. Set active and weapon, yes. And it's returning errors and we do not care for now. So how much damage is going to deal our skill? Let's set 3 damage. What is the fire rate? We're going to let that for now. Recoil as well, that as well, and that as well. The muzzle, we're going to look for a muzzle. Assault rifle, beam muzzle, dragon bite, muzzle flash. Let's try that out. This is likely, yep, this is a paragon particle effect. Muzzle scale is going to be 1, max hit results 1, range is going to be 5000, ammo cost is going to be 1. We're going to compile. We're going to call that dragon shot, since we used that particle effect, dragon bite. The icon is going to be a random icon, we do not care. Cleave. The costs, how is the cost being set up? Mech cost list. Okay, this is a function I built in the weapon skill, which basically takes the metrics we specify for the ammo cost and builds a cost out of it. So we're going to make cost list like this. Stops on release. Does it stops on release? I think it does. Yeah, because it's an automatic fire. So it needs to be stopped on release. The tags, we know how to make tags. We make bit masks for tags and for targets, but targets are skill targets and tags are gameplay tags. We want to say this is physical, for instance, and we want to target enemy and neutral. Use VSFX, we are not going to specify any use VSFX. I think it's going to spawn the muzzle particle by default. If I double check in another examples, use VSFX, assault rifle shots and assault rifle muzzle. So that's quite strange. Okay, I'm specifying a sound effect just so we can as a use VSFX. We are not going to specify one in here, but we are going to specify a hit and a block VSFX, and we're going to look for impact, but arc impact, bite attack, helix primary attack, bite dragon character impact. We're going to use this. Let's compile. Requirements, we are not going to have any requirements there, and we're not going to override the action behavior like this. So we've created a skill, and now we need to tell the example weapon of MC to use that skill. So if you open up, for example, the assault rifle, I built the weapon system in a way that allows us to specify how what skills have weapons in their construction script and what is the action behavior of their skills, and by default if you left click blocks right click and vice versa. So you can say that, for instance, the right click is going to be the shot we created, my weapon skill, and we're going to try that out right away. So this is our first skill, and as you can see, it's behaving quite strange and it's not dealing damage. So we're going to modify that behavior. First, how do we do gameplay effects? If I open up automatic fire, when the skill starts, I'm using weapon shoot effects, and in there I'm actually wrapping up some stuff, proccing the recoil impulse, triggering the muzzle, consuming the cost, and weapon shoot gameplay. And this is the place where this is the function we need to override if we want to do gameplay stuff when our skill hits. So in our weapon skill, we can look for gameplay, weapon shoot gameplay, event weapon shoot gameplay, and we're just going to trigger an hit scan shot, for instance. So if we go back to, I'm going to play with the client. So if I grab the weapon, I'm actually dealing damage with that skill. And you can see the recoil is behaving awkwardly, and that's because with automatic fire, recoil is being recovered when you release the input, because they are supposed to have high fire rates. So for instance, 0.15. Like this, for instance. But it's still, maybe you don't like the speed at which it's going up, and maybe you don't like the speed at which it's going down. Maybe you don't like how much it's going up and down. So you can tweak all of these values there, how much is going up, how much it should go up and how fast it goes and how fast it goes down. We've went over this in a previous video. So I reduce the cooldown by the recoil by a lot. You do not have enough resources, and that's because I emptied my weapon ammo. So we've created a weapon skill. So basically, they behave like the other skills. You specify whatever you want there. You could be doing find. You could be doing anything in here. Find actors. In box, for instance, when you shoot, you could be doing anything you spawn AI, do anything you do in other skills, and you just have access to built-in functions, and you have 3 examples of shoot behaviors, which are really just stuff like the montage skill you created, the montage behavior, which is a skill wrapping up several functions used by all of your skills. So weapon skill is that, and weapon skill does that, and and the shoot behavior does that as well. And I'm creating child classes of these to create my weapon skills. So, and just so you remember, I think you should create a child class of weapon skill and create child class of your child class of weapon skill for your mimicking what I've done in the shot behavior, just so you can build your own weapon logic and weapon features in your own weapon skill child. So this is how you can create weapon skills. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.